Hello, welcome to another episode of the Disabled Reviewer, and today we're going to be reviewing this, which is the Mercedes Vito. Now, before we get started, I would like to ask if you could follow me or subscribe to my channel. It'll help me and help others, both to keep up to date with future reviews, and if you're watching this one. So, now I've got that bit out of the way, that's the boring bit. So this, like I said, is the Mercedes Vito. Now, as you see this van is what you would get if you purchased it privately or if you purchased it through the Motability scheme. So you'll see we get some nice alloys. Then we're going to come to the back of the van. We've got some nice black limousine glass windows on the back. Now, I will also mention on this van, you can also get two different entry options, if that's the way of putting it. So the first one, we're going to come around to the back. And this is the one that I would go for personally because I think you get more room. So this one has got, like I said, this is the lift at the back. Now this is all controlled. If you was alone and you were, say, like me, confined to the chair, you know, you couldn't get out, and if I want to go out in my car, then I've got to have someone to put my wheelchair in the boot, and it's a nightmare. But with this, I wouldn't have to do anything like that. So I bet you're wondering what this is. So this is everything that controls the lift. Now, you won't see it in this video being used because the battery's gone, because you do actually need to charge these. But just so that you're aware, and just so that you know if you did want to get one of these. So first of all, if you can rock up to the back of the van, you would open the boot of the van with the actual van key. So once the tailgate's open, you would then switch to this remote, and this one you would unfold the lift, then you would press down, which would bring the lift down. You get on the lift, and then once you're on, you go up. All again, control of this. Once you're in the van, you then click fold, which folds the lift, and then you go back to the van key, and you would click the tailgate button, which would then close the tailgate once you're in the van. So you literally would not need any assistance from anyone at all. And what I will say is if the battery does go in this lift fob, then you've also got one attached to the actual lift itself, which is what I'm going to be using today. So now I'm going to roll onto the lift, then I'm going to roll into the back of the van, and you will see once I'm in the van sort of how simple it is. I would also like to mention this has got something called an internal transfer, but I'll explain more about what an internal transfer is once I'm in. So let's get on the lift. So again, look, this is the attached remote. So we're going to press up. And then I bet some of you are thinking, well, are you going to bang your head on the top? Well, actually, I'm not, because on the top of this van, Lewis Reed have adapted the van and slightly altered it so you've got a little bit more headroom. I believe it's 2 inches. So now we're going to go inside the van. So I'm going to show you the other entry, which you could have, whether you want the one on the back or whether you want this particular one. So this one is a bit annoying. I don't like this one, I'll be honest. So this one, we're going to hold that. If I press the right button. So you hold out, and this again is a lift, and it comes out, and you'll see why I don't like this particular lift in a minute. So then we're going to go down. So if you're wondering why the flap hasn't gone down, it's because there's no weight on it. It might be a bit stiff actually as well. So that beeping noise, you will hear that the entire time that our lift is out. That it might not bother some people, but it would bother me. So on that note, we're going to put it back up a bit, and we're going to go in. No. Out. down a bit. In. No. Out. So we're inside the van. Now then, first thing I want to show you is the back of the van, and in the back you'll see there are two fold-away seats. Now there are different sort of seating configurations available, but only it all depends on what entry you want, whether you want the side entry or whether you want the boot one. Personally, I would go for the boot one because that lift on the side's a nightmare. Not for me. Between trying to put it away, as you would have just seen, not good, or the fact that it just constantly beeps. No, 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 no. So like I said, you can have the two fold-away seats, and actually they're pretty comfortable because I've actually sat in them. So as you can see, you've still got loads of headroom in here. It's massive. Now this, like I said, comes with an internal transfer, and yeah, it basically does what it says in the tin. So we're going to come up to this driver's seat. Now this driver's seat, you'll see it's on tracks. Okay. So the reason it's on tracks is because it moves right the way in the back of the van, then it can go right forward for you to drive. But the best bit, which I love this, it's a game changer. So this actually swivels right the way around, and it's perfect. One thing I would suggest personally is if you don't need it that high, you can actually lower the height of the seat, which again I'll show you in a sec once I'm on. Reason being is because the headrest, the only fault I have found with this van, the headrest brushes up against the roof of the van. Wouldn't make a difference really, I don't suppose. But just me being a neat freak, I suppose. So yeah, as I said, we're going to get onto the seat. It's very, very easy to do. I mean, it's, yeah, it is fairly easy, to be honest, and that's why I'm actually considering getting one of these instead of a car. So once we're on, we are in. So then what you would get if you were traveling alone, for example, so in the floor here, there are little, I call them points, that you get your like attachment that's fitted to the floor, and there would be like a seat belt sort of thing, like a harness to strap your chair in. So if you are alone and you're driving, your chair isn't going to be flying around the back of the van. And again, if you did happen to have to stop quickly, your chair is going to stay there still. It's not going to come flinging into the front. So once we're in the seat, as you can see, they're not anything special. They are just normal seats, just on a different base. That's it. So on the side, there are three levers. I keep getting them confused which is which. So the left one, at the right of the back, is to swivel it, and as you can see, it swivels right the way around. Then you don't got to worry about how far it's going to go around the other way because it will stop to align you with the steering wheel. The middle one is to alter the height. Now that one I leave it quite high to transfer, and then the front one is to move your seat back into the front of the van, and then it will literally enable you to drive the van, and making you completely independent. So once we're in the van, I'm not fully forward and I have left it slightly swiveled out a little bit to talk to you. So again, within the front of the van, it's got everything that your standard van would have. We've got cruise control, speed limiter, we've got all your controls on the actual steering wheel itself. This does come with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's got analog climate control. What else have we got? There's not a lot of storage in here, I'll be honest. That is my only thing I would say. Right, you've got your large door bins. Actually, they're very large. I've got like a little storage tray down here, which, yeah, I think there could be a little bit more storage, but again, I suppose with it being a WAV, they have to kind of keep as many spaces free as possible. It does also have, man, I will mention, USB socket, so you can actually charge your phone. It's got two of them. You can charge your phone, or you would plug it in to use the Apple CarPlay. If you don't use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto and you want to use a simple Bluetooth, you can. But if you do that, it doesn't then have built-in sat nav and things. So yeah, you can also stream your music if you wanted to through Bluetooth again without plugging it in. So now we're going to get to my favorite part, which is the driving bit. It's my second time to drive a van, and I'm actually looking forward to it. I'll be honest with you. So today we are going to the. We've been to the Brecon Beacons before, but today we're going to a different part of the Brecon Beacons. So it'll be quite interesting to see this go there because it's quite a large van. And some of the lanes are quite small up in the Brecon Beacons, but never mind, we'll get there. So yeah, let's go. So we just got to the Brecon Beacons, and I just want to say I love this van. Not because it's just a nice drive, but because it gives me my complete independence. I know I say I love every car that I review, but this literally is, like I said, it's a different kind of loving it. Because like I said, it gives someone like me complete independence over their entire life. You can come and go as you please without having to need to ask anyone to help you at all. Um, so the one thing I did forget to mention earlier, which I will leave a link in the comments or in the description box, is that this van does come in a range of colours. If you're not a fan of silver, I'm not a fan of silver, but I do quite like this one. But I think I'm going to have one in black, definitely. So yeah, that brings me on to the ratings. So practicality is a 5, without a doubt. Because, well, you've seen in the video, it's so easy for me to use this van. Comfort, I'm going to score it a 5 because the seats are very comfortable, and I mean they're very, very comfortable. Um, Performance, I'm going to score that a 4 because I do think that it could have a slightly bigger engine. I believe it's got a 2 litre diesel, but it's only got 116 brake horsepower, which actually isn't a lot considering the size of the van. But then again, it's got plenty of torque in it, so it still does go. And with it being a diesel, you don't really notice it as much, to be honest. And then what are we then on? We said comfort, we said practicality, performance, and accessibility. So accessibility is a 5, without a doubt. Because again, it comes into the part of the practicality side of it. It's just super easy for me to get into. So yeah, thanks for watching. Again, I know I said it earlier, but I'm going to say it again. Don't forget to follow and subscribe, and give this video a like or a love, whatever you want to call it, because I really appreciate it. Because by you following me, it gives me access to more vehicles and other reviews, such as hotels, like you would have seen on my channel. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon.